Okay, so we are going to start with the concept of join. The same thing we learned in Power BI, and there it was called merge. And we also did same thing in Tableau, and there it was called joins. I will give you a quick understanding of the joins concept so that all of you who have not done Tableau and Power BI yet, all of you will be comfortable with them. Let me open an Excel file. As you can see on my screen, let's say I have an EMP file, and in that I have ID, name. IDs are 1, 2, 3. Names will take, say, Jim, Kim, and Lim. EMP table. Table name is employee, and we have these three details, these three data in the EMP table. We will also create another table called finance. In the finance table, we have ID, we have salary. So we have the ID of employee, second employee, employee 2, and his salary, let's say it's 200, 3, 300, ID 4, 400. So these are the two tables. Now, can we combine these two tables? Can we combine these two tables by taking this data from here, like taking the data from here, and below that, pasting the data like this? Does it make sense? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, isn't it? Because the columns are different, right? Here we have name column, here we have salary column. So we cannot combine like this. When you combine the data one below other, like what we have done here, this is called union or append, right? In generic term, it is called append. In Python, when we do same thing, we will be calling it append, right? But in SQL, when we do same thing, it is called union. In Power BI, what do we call this? Let me see if you are able to recall, any one of you. In Power BI, what do we call this? Do you remember that?
Is it append?
Append. Absolutely, yes. This is called append. And what do we call it in Tableau? The same thing. Adding the data one below other. In Tableau, we call it union. If you remember, we use the concept of union where we attach the data below another data. Okay, so this way it is not possible. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical because the columns are different. Let me delete it. Can we combine like this side by side? Does it make sense? Yes or no? Let me delete this. It does make sense, but then it is not the correct mapping, isn't it? Like, see, ID1 salary is not available, but here it is coming 200. So we cannot combine like this also. We can definitely combine side by side like this to create three columns, but we cannot directly combine them. What we have to do is we have to use a particular logic for combining the data. So when we combine the data side by side, then that is called join, right? Combining the data, basically the columns from multiple tables, is called join here. There are, in SQL, there are 6 type of joins. So let me give you a quick note of this. join, right? Join is used for combining data, basically columns, that is columns, from two tables. That's what the main purpose of join is. Combining the data, basically the columns based on two tables, right? For combining the data, you need to have one column, common column. That's not mandatory, but ideally we should have it so that we can do the proper mapping. There are 6 types of joins in SQL. They are left join. Who will tell me the output of left join? What will be the output of left join? Anyone, if you remember that, tell me. None of you remember that? No problem. I'll help you. Left join keeps all records from the first table, also called left table, and returns returns matching values from the right table. We'll pause here. Let's understand what left join does. Left join keeps all the records from the first table, isn't it? Keeps all records from the first table and returns matching values from the right table. Now, how do we know which table is the left table and which table is the right table? So whichever table name you use first, that is called the left table. In this representation, EMP is the first table. So this is called left table. Left table. And this one is called the right table. So what will be the output of left join? Left join output will be, what is the definition? Left join keeps all the records from the left table. So all the records means everything from left table, isn't it? Left join keeps all the records from the left table. So I have taken everything from left table and matching value from the right table. Now from the right table, which column do you want to bring? I want to bring salary table. So salary table, it won't copy directly like this. It will find the matching values. How? It will check the IDs from the first table. ID 1, is it available here? No. So if it is not available here, it will give null. ID 2, is this available here? Yes, ID 2 is available. What is the salary? 200. ID 3, is it available here? Yes, it is here. What is the salary? 300. This is the output of left join. Once again, left join is used like keeping all the data from the left table, and that's what we have done here. And then finding the matching values from the right table. Finding the matching values from the right table is left join. Have you all understood left join? All of you who already have completed Power BI and Tableau, I'm very sure all of you are clear with this. But how about rest of the group? Have you all understood left join? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All of
Yes,
you?
sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you, please confirm, unmute and speak
Yes,
yes,
sir.
or all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, be comfortable. I want you to speak up. Can you all unmute? Those who have not responded yet, please unmute and say no if you have not understood. Say yes if you have understood. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, right? I can still see some of you have not responded. Go ahead. Be comfortable. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the output of right join now. Left join you have understood. Left join, once again I'm repeating. Left join means keeping all the data from left table. How do you know which one is my left table? If you use EMP table as first table name, then employee will become the left table. If you use fin as the first table name or finance as your first table name, then finance will become the left table. The other table will automatically become the right table. So who will tell me the output of right join now? What right join does? Right join keeps all the data from right table and finds the matching value from left table. Now, can you tell me the output of right join? So we need these three columns. I need your help in printing the output of right join. Go ahead. Don't worry about right or wrong. If it is wrong, I will help you. And that will give you a better understanding. Go ahead faster. Someone. Come on, don't do like
ID
this.
234,
Very good. ID 2, 3, 4.
name Kim, Lim,
Kim, Lim,
Nal,
Kim, Lim, and
sir.
Null. Yes, very nice. Salary.
Salary 200, 300,
Okay.
and 400.
400. Anything else? No. Okay. Very good. Yes, this is the output of right join. So right join means taking all the data from right table and finding the matching values from left table. So it will go and check this ID. What is the matching value for this one? ID 2. It will go and check here. ID 2's name is Kim. It will print Kim. What's the salary of ID 2? 200. Like this. Fine. So right join keeps all records from the right table. When we say right table or second table, let's call it right table. That is your second table. And returns matching values from the left table. And of course, you need to have a common column in both the tables. And that's what we have seen. We have ID or employee ID as our common table. Okay. Now, what inner join does is left join you have understood, right join you have understood. Okay, those who are not answering, I'm going to come back to you and you have to explain me whichever join I ask you. I want you to respond, guys. Okay, so we need to find the output of inner join. What inner join does is inner join, it takes the common values from both the table. Like ID column is there. So in this, it will check which IDs are common. ID 2 is common, ID 3 is common, right? So it will return the value of ID 2, ID 3. In both the tables, if you see ID 2 and 3 are common. So name of ID 2 is Kim. Kim. Salary of ID 2 is 200. Name of ID 3 is Lim. And salary of ID 3 is 300. This will be the output of inner join. The next one is outer join, also called full outer join. Full outer join, right? What full outer join does is it takes all the records from both the table based on the common column. So if I take ID, name, and salary, it will take all the ID from both the tables. This one, this one. And you have a choice. If you want to keep duplicates, you can keep duplicates or delete the duplicates. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. This is the duplicated one. I'll delete this. And 4 will go above this. So this is the output of full outer join, and it will go and pick the respective matching values. ID1, Jim, Kim, Lim. These are the names of ID1, 2, and 3. ID4, we don't have the name of ID4 available. So if something is not available, then it will print null. Null means nothing. In computing, null means nothing. So it will print null to represent there is nothing available here. Now it will go and check the salary. Salary of ID2 is not available. So again, it will print null. ID2 will be 200, 300, 400. This will be the output of full outer join. This is the output of full outer join. Once again, let's do a quick recap. Left join means keeping all the data from left table and the matching values from the right table. Right join means keeping all the data from right table, and that's what you can see here. 2, 3, 4, 200, 300, 400, and finding the matching values from left table. Inner join means taking the common records from both the table. Common record based on what? Based on the column that your key column, which is ID column here, right? Whichever IDs are common, take the records of those particular IDs. Full outer join is basically taking the combined output. That means keep all the IDs from both the table. ID 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4. And if you want to keep the duplicate values, then keep them. Otherwise, you can delete them. So we have deleted here and we have got ID 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 joins we have done: left join, right join, inner join, and full outer join. Let's go back. Continue with this. Third one is inner join keeps or returns the records that are common based on the key. Common on which column? Based on the key column. Like in this case, key column is ID column. Common in both the tables. This is inner join. And the last one, we have outer join. Outer join is also called as full outer join. Full outer join. So returns all data based on the key column. From both the tables. We'll pause here and get into the practice, understand the query logic for this. But after doing this, we will be understanding two more joins, which is called Fifth one is called cross join. We'll first do self join and then we will do cross join. And I'll explain what these joins are. So we are parking these two for now and we'll get into the query now. What we will do is we will create same table so that we can validate and match the output. And in your video also, you have same output, same table given. So it will be easy for you to recall when you watch the video. Joins. Go back to SQL Workbench. Let's create the table first. So I want one of you to help me creating employee table. Go ahead, quick. Let's not waste time. What will be the query?
Table.
Okay,
Employee.
good. Create table EMP. We'll call it EMP and we'll create it in our Introtallent database.
Introtallent dot employee.
Introtallent.emp, good.
Then EMP ID, employee ID.
Okay, EMP underscore ID.
In
Data
primary.
type. Very good. Int will be the data type and we'll keep it as primary. Very good. And the next column?
Then employee ID, employee name.
EMP underscore name. What will be the data type? Varchar. Let's give 10 characters. That's it, right? Close the brackets.
Not.
Good one. So all of you create this table. Good job, Aparna. Now we will insert values. Insert into Introtallent.emp. Values. We will keep same values that we have created in the Excel. Okay, write the create table, type 1 in the chat window to confirm. See, some people are very responsive in the class and they are always responding. Like Michelle is there, Shruti is there, right? Dinsha is there. Pushpanjali is there. I've seen Anirudh participating most of the time. I have seen Pratiksha and Prativa participating most of the time. I have seen Sudina very actively participating. I also observed Vishnu and Jishnu. They participated very frequently. Vishwaja answered very frequently. I've also seen Dilna answering sometimes. So all these names that I have taken, apart from that, I've seen Binny being very active and participating, responding. Binny is not there today. So likewise, these apart from these names, rest of you are not, either you are hesitant, which you should not be, or you have some fear, which is not required, or I don't know, maybe you are not willing to open, or maybe you are very lazy. So whatever situation may be, don't do that. You have to interact, you have to participate, you have to communicate. Otherwise, how will you talk to your client? Isn't it? Many a time you will have 20 people, if not 20 people, at least 3, 4, 5 people in the call, online meeting. And then you have to speak. How will you speak? You'll start fumbling, you'll start stammering, and then people will say that you are not a good performer. Forget about that. Before that, you will have online interview. Nowadays, everything is happening online. Interview also happens online. Video turned on and you have to speak up. So if you don't respond, if you don't speak, before interview itself, you will be rejected. I don't want you to fail. I don't want you to get rejected. And hence, I'm asking you to repeatedly speak up. Okay. So all of you have created the EMP table. Let's insert the values. The values we'll insert is 1, comma, Jim, then 2 comma Kim, then 3 comma Lim, insert the value, run the query, check your output and type 2 in the chat window. I hope all of you have Introtallent database. Check the output, and if you're getting the output, type 2 in the chat window. Okay, everyone. We will create Introtallent dot fin. ID will take,
Sir,
say,
create table,
okay. Yeah, create table.
Introtallent.fin,
Create table, Introtallent dot fin.
ID,
Yes.
ID or employee ID, sir?
We can keep anything. We can keep ID, we can keep employee ID. Who is responding? Pushpanjali. Okay. As
Pushpanjali, sir.
always. Yes. Int,
Yes, sir.
and we'll keep primary.
Salary,
Salary,
int,
take int. We can also take float, right? Because just in case you
float,
want to
yes,
show
sir.
decimal, then we can keep float.
Decimal.
Otherwise, yeah. So let's keep float this time because we have not used float, huh? That's it. Close the brackets, semicolon. Perfect. Creation of the table is done. Let's check the action output. Done. And after this, we will insert the data. So insert into Introtallent dot fin values. We will keep salary for ID 2, 200, comma ID 3, 300, comma ID 4, 400. Done. Unknown database. Okay, database name I have given wrong. Introtallent, insert into INTR. Done. We will also check the output to see whether the data has been inserted or not. So select star from Introtallent.fin. The data has been updated. Write both the query and type 3 in the chat window to confirm.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
In the finance table, even the like the ID name, can I name it as employee ID itself?
We can. Purposely, I have kept it different just to avoid this confusion in mind that we need to have the same column. We can have same column name, like here we have given EMP underscore ID. We can also have a different column name, doesn't matter.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, please go ahead.
So whenever we say about this common column, it need not always have a common column name.
That's right. We did not have the column name common in both the tables. We can have different names. Common column means the columns are representing same data. So we have employee ID in this one also. In here, in EMP ID, we have employee ID, and the same employee ID is stored under the ID column here. So the data should be same, but column name may be same or different.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so looks like all of you have completed. Fine. So now the two tables are ready. Let us write the query of left join. Pay attention. So what we will do is we start with select and column names from first table. Now, which table do you want to consider the left table here? In the EMP and fin table, perhaps EMP table you'd like to keep the left table, isn't it? But does it mean you cannot keep fin table as left table? Yes, you can. Always depends on the kind of data you have and the analysis that you want to do. And how will you decide which table to be kept left table? That decision you'll make based on business understanding. When you work on the projects, automatically you will understand which table should be left table and which table should be right table. For example, in employee and finance table, employee will always be the left table because you have all the data of employee in the employee table. And for those employee, you have the salary details in finance table. So we are going to keep EMP as our left table. So we'll give select EMP dot EMP underscore name. See, we have to take EMP name column. This column. Where is that? We have to take this column. This column is a part of employee table, and hence I've given EMP name dot EMP. We also need ID because left join means taking all the data from left table. So we'll take EMP underscore ID, comma EMP underscore name. EMP ID from which table? EMP table. Why do we have to give the table name here? It is mandatory. Why we have to give? Because we are going to extract the data from multiple tables. So when I say ID, how would system understand ID from employee table or ID from finance table? And hence, to avoid that confusion, it is mandatory to give the table name so that system will understand that I have to pick the ID column from this particular table. Even if the names are different, still we have to give the table reference. So we'll need ID and name from employee table and salary from fin table, isn't it? So we'll write fin dot salary. Then we will write from, we will give the left table name first. Which table is left table? Employee table. So we'll give EMP, but EMP table is a part of which database? Introtallent database. So we'll give introtallent.emp. Till here, have you understood? Give the column names. First, give the column name of left table. So we need employee ID table from employee ID column from EMP table. We need employee name column from EMP table. We need salary column from fin table. From which table? The data is there in Introtallent database. So from introtallent.emp, left join is the keyword, and then Introtallent.fin. Right? Now, before left join, whichever table name comes before left join, that is your left table. And after the join keyword, whichever table name comes, that is your right table. On which column do you want to find the matching values? In these two tables, on which column you are going to find the matching values? ID table, isn't it? ID column. On which column you are going to find the matching values? Based on ID column. So for that, we use on keyword. On emp dot emp underscore ID is equal to fin dot ID. That's it. So select employee ID column from EMP table, employee name column from EMP table, salary column from finance table. From which table? Where are your tables? Data. So from introtalent.emp, left join introtalent.fin. On which table do you want to find the matching values? So on ID column from employee table and ID column from finance table. That's it. So when you execute this query, you can see this output. I'll take the screenshot of this output. We'll take it back to the Excel and we will compare the output that we generated in Excel side by side. Look into this. This is the output we created. This is the output system has created. 1, 2, 3, Jim Kim Lim, null 200, 300. 1, 2, 3, Jim Kim Lim, and null 200, 300. Have you all understood this? Or you have doubts, questions? Please feel free and ask. If you have understood this, write the query and type 4 in the chat window. Do not hesitate. Ask questions and I'll explain you again.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
So can you just explain the on part? Like what does the on do?
So let's understand from this one. What we are telling, select ID from employee table. So it will become emp.id, isn't it? In our case, it is emp underscore ID. So we'll mention here also emp underscore ID. So in the left join, we are telling select emp, which is this table name, dot emp ID, comma, emp dot name, comma, fin. I'll change it to fin now according to the query. Fin dot salary. From which table? From introtalent.emp, which is this table. Left to join introtalent.fin. And then on which column do you want to join? On emp.emp ID is equal to fin.id. So it will go and check ID1 here and look for the value here. ID2 here and look for the matching value here. If the value is present, it will bring the salary. Otherwise, it will print null. Got the clarity?
So it's like based on which column, like that, right?
Based on which column, which is your common column in the
common column, yeah.
That column will be going on. That's what we have done.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so looks like all of you have completed. Nitin, Dilna, Drishya, Anusri, and everyone in the class, are they clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let's move on. Now, we can write the query like this, but then in the corporate, your table names will be bigger. It will be like here we have used a very short name EMP. There the name will be something like this. For example, it will be like permanent underscore employee underscore India underscore BLR underscore ITPL, something like this. Like this name is still better. Sometimes you'll have many underscores like this and bigger table name. Now, every time typing and copying, pasting this bigger table name increases our query length and degrades the readability. It's difficult to read that kind of query because your table names are so big, right? The maintenance becomes difficult. So what we do is, instead of using table name, we use table alias. Do you remember column alias that we used? For a column name, we gave a new column name for the output so that that's simpler, that better name can be displayed in the output. Similarly, we can give column alias, sorry, table alias here. So left join using table alias. Now, let's assume that this table, the first table that we have, the left table, let us call this table A. This is our table A. And let's assume this is our table B. So can we write A dot employee ID, then A dot name, then B dot salary like that? Yes, we can. So let us see. So now if EMP is my A table, Fin is my B table, can we write like this? Select A dot EMP underscore ID, comma, A dot name, comma, B dot salary from Introtallent.emp as A. Now, system has to understand when you are telling A dot employee ID, where should I go and check it? In which table? So we are telling Introtallent.emp is my table A. Left join Introtallent dot fin as B on A dot emp underscore ID is equal to B dot ID. Everything is same, just that instead of table name, I have used A and B. And when we run this, the output will be same. A dot name, I think A dot emp underscore name. I've missed that. So you can see the output is same. Let me again copy this output, take the screenshot, paste it into Excel sheet for the side-by-side comparison. Look at this. ID 123, 123, Jim Kim Lim, null 200, 300, null 200, 300. It to same thing. So there is no difference in terms of output, but yes, the query becomes simpler and easy to read. And in industry, we always follow this practice, right? You will hardly see someone writing like this. So go by this method. It's better, it's easier, it makes you more efficient. If you have not understood this query or if you have any doubt, questions, please feel free and ask without hesitation. If you have understood, complete this query and type 5 in the chat window. Shall we move on? All of you have completed. So now, going forward, we will not use this method. We will be using this method to write the queries. Let me wait for some more time so that everyone can complete and confirm in the chat window. Okay, everyone. Now, as we saw in the right join, the ID and salary, these two columns will come from finance and name will come from EMP. We'll write select B.ID. Why not A.employee ID? Because it's right join. So in the right join, the ID column must come from second table and hence I'm writing B.ID. Comma, name will come from the first table, isn't it? A.emp name. So we write A.emp underscore name, comma B dot salary from Introtallent dot emp Okay, instead of as A, you can simply write A like this also. A, right join, Introtallent dot fin B on A dot EMP underscore ID is equal to B dot ID. The position of ID column doesn't change. The left column's ID will be left side, right table's ID will be right side. Run it, and you have the output. This column you can rearrange, of course, but no matter where you are writing ID, this has to be B dot ID and not A dot ID. Let me take the screenshot of this one, paste it here, compare the data. 234, Kim Lim null, 200, 300, 400. Same output. We are done. I hope all of you are clear with the right join. Let me know if you have any doubt, any question. Complete the query, type 6 in the chat window, and then we'll move on to the inner join concept. Okay. So left join, right join, you have understood. Now we'll move on to inner join. The query pattern remains same. For inner join, you can take ID from any of the table. Doesn't make a difference because it is going to check the common values, right? So select A dot ID, comma A, not ID, A dot EMP underscore ID, right? A dot EMP underscore ID, comma A dot EMP underscore name, comma B dot salary from Introtallent dot EMPA inner join Introtallent dot fin B on A dot EMP underscore ID is equal to B dot ID. That's it. So if you see here, everything is same, just the keyword inner join has been replaced here, right? Right join with inner join. Run it. We are getting the common values ID2 and ID3 from both the tables. Let's see the output. Here is the output. ID23 name Kim Lim, salary 200 and 300. Complete this query, check your output, ask questions if you have any, and type 7 in the chat window.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Michelle, please go ahead.
Do we have to keep renaming the table as A and B in every time? Or can we like do it in one thing where it can be in general?
So see, each of the queries are independent query. So you'll never have a need of doing the left join as well as right join together for the same query. Every time we are using A for first table, B for second table. Instead of A and B, we can use anything. Like many a time, I have seen people using E and F for employee and finance, the first letter of the table. But then that creates a confusion when both the tables are starting with E. For example, employee data and employee salary. Both the table is starting with E, then it creates confusion. Hence, we use A and B. But every single query is independent of each other, and hence we are just using A in every query. We cannot use, like we cannot generalize it that one place will use A and B and then we'll keep referring in the tables, in the queries. For the clarity.
So we can't do it like how we use the keyword use, and then we can.
If you use keyword use, that is only for database. Use Introtallent. So then you can use directly EMPA and FinB. But as I mentioned, that's not the best practice because what if next time when you run and if you miss that use keyword part, If you don't run that part, then your query will not run. So this is like, it's a kind of foolproof solution every time it is going to work. But yes, this keyword use that we use, the use command, use Introtallent, that was only for the database, not for the table. Table reference has to be given every time in the query. So we have to write.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Complete this, type 7 in the chat window, and then we will move on to, I'll show you one more method of writing the inner join without using the inner join keyword. Sometimes people ask you in interview to write the inner join query without using the inner join keyword. Inner join query without using inner join keyword. How do we write? Let us understand. We'll write select a.emp underscore id, comma, a.emp underscore name, comma, b.salary from introtallent.empa, comma, introtallent.finb, where a.emp underscore id is equal to b.id. Run it. You can see the same output. Now, how does it work? Let's understand. These are the columns we are extracting: employee ID, employee name, and salary from A and B table. Right? From the table name, EMP as A, from two tables, right? So from EMPA and FinB, where check the condition that ID of EMP table is same as ID of Fin table. Just show me the data of only those particular IDs. So it will basically check the common IDs and it will show you the output. Let me know if there is any confusion in this. We have written inner join query without using the inner join keyword, using the where clause. Type 8 in the chat window after completing this. All right. Let's move on to the outer join. And before that, we will understand the concept of union. This is your joins concept. Now understand this. If your data is like this, let's say I have EMP. Here I have ID, name, ID 1, 2, 3, name Ram, Sam, Chris. And I have another table, new joiner. Again, ID, name, ID 4, 5, 6, 7, Jim, Tom, Jay, and Kim. We have to combine this data. Now, can we combine like this? Taking the data from here, taking the data from here. Does it make sense? Will it work? Yes or no? Can we
No,
combine
sir.
side by side? No, doesn't
No,
make
sir.
sense.
Okay.
It's not logical, isn't it? So to combine this kind of data, we can always take the data from first table, and below that we can append the data of second table. Now this definitely makes sense. And this process is called union. Now the union process basically combines the data, but if there's a duplicated ID, let's say ID2 is available here also. Sam. Let's assume. So Sam is available here, ID2, ID2 is available here also. So what union does is it does not keeps the duplicate record. See, it has given the unique record. But if same thing you do using union all, these are the super important concepts for interview. Entire join and union. Make sure you are clear with the concept. So if I take this union all, union all does not remove the duplicates. It keeps the duplicates. Now, if you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 7. This 7 is not there now. I deleted that. So this is your union output. And this is your union all output where you can see ID2 is duplicated and system has not removed it because union all keeps duplicate, but union combines the data by removing the duplicate records. So ID2 here you can see is available only once. I hope all of you have understood union and union all. Now what we will do is go back to SQL and now we are going to do full outer join. So in MySQL, like if you go to other databases, you will find outer join keyword. But in MySQL, outer join keyword is not there. Why it is not there? MySQL documentation says if you take the data of left join, take the data of left join, and below that append the data of right join, then that is your outer join. With duplicate, if you want to remove duplicates, let's remove duplicates. This is your outer join. See 1, 2, 3, 4, name. Outer join here that we created 1, 2, 3, 4, name and salary. Isn't it? That's what the documentation of MySQL system says. If you combine the data of left join, below that, if you keep right join data, the output that you get is your full outer join output. So why do we need a separate keyword called outer join? And that's the reason we don't have the outer join keyword. So what you have to do is you have to write the left join query. What is the left join query? Select a dot emp underscore id, comma, a dot emp underscore name, comma, b dot salary, right, from Introtallent dot empa left join Introtallent dot fin b on a dot emp underscore id is equal to b dot id, right? This is your left join query. Check the output. Query is fine. Now remove this semicolon. Below this, we'll write union. Union, what it did, it combined the data one below other, isn't it? Same thing we are going to do here. So select right join query will have b dot emp underscore id. Are you all clear why we are taking b dot emp id in right join and not a dot emp id? Can anyone tell me? Why are we taking b dot emp id? Why not a dot emp id? So that shows you are not paying attention. Be attentive. We are using b.tempid because right join means keeping all the records from right table. And in the right table, we have employee ID. So if ID is there in both the tables, whichever join you are using from that table, you'll take ID. When we use left join, the ID has to be taken from left table. When we take right join, the ID has to be taken from right table. Have you all understood this or no?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
So, but in B table, it is simply ID, no? Instead of
That's right. Okay, have I taken employee ID? Yes, it's my mistake. You're right. B dot ID. Correct. Have you all understood why do we take the ID from B table and not from A table while using right join?
So for right join, so we are referring the ID column.
See, ID is your lookup key, isn't it? The key column. Basically, ID is your identifier column using which you will find salary, you'll find name. So ID is the common column in both the table, here as well as here. When we use left join, we have to take ID from this one, which is EMP underscore ID. When we use right join, we have to take this ID. Otherwise, your output will be wrong. Is it clear?
So
Yes, please go ahead.
in the query, can you show me the query?
Okay.
Yeah, that is select b.id, comma, and next should be the name, right?
Yes, I just typed it. I don't know why I have typed this. Yeah, it will be b dot name.
B or A?
No, a dot name, correct. Because the name is in A column. Only ID has to be taken from B table. Name anyways we have in A table, so we can't say B dot name. Salary is there in only B table, so we can't say A dot salary. But you have to be careful with ID. When you are using left join, A dot ID or A dot employee ID, whatever is the column name in table A. And when you use right join, then you have to use B dot ID employee ID, whatever is the column. Clear?
So also it has been given as EMP name, sir. EMP underscore name.
EMP underscore name. Right. So select, now we'll complete this query. Select B dot ID, A dot EMP name, B dot salary from Introtallent dot EMP A. And this time we'll use right join Introtallent dot fin B on A dot EMP underscore ID is equal to B dot ID. The sequence here won't change. Semicolon. I think there's some problem here. Select B dot ID, A dot EMP name, B dot salary. Everything looks fine from Introtallent dot EMP A. Right join Introtallent dot fin B on A dot ID is equal to B dot ID. So what's the error in this?
Sir,
Please.
the comma is missing.
Comma is missing here. Yes. Yeah. All right. So now when I see this output, look at this. This output is same as the output that we generated manually here. ID 1, 2, 3, 4, name Jim, Kim, Lim, and null, and salary null 200, 300, 400. Now, if I copy paste same query, let me copy paste same query. And instead of union, if I use union all, union combines data vertically, right? One below other by removing duplicates. And union all combines data vertically without removing duplicates. Without removing duplicates. It doesn't remove duplicates. So I've changed it to union all. you will see ID 2 and 3 will be repeated. Look at this. ID 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. And the data has been generated repeatedly. So we don't use union all unless we have to generate the data repeatedly. Otherwise we use union. So you can see same data is there, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, but 2, 3 has been repeated because 2 and 3, these two IDs are available in the first table as well as in the second table, and hence it is repeated. I hope all of you have understood the usage of union and union all, and also the difference between them. Go ahead, write this query, execute. Let me know if you are getting any error or if you have any question. Type 9 after completing this. Copy paste same query below and change your, or you do this. Let's finish one task at a time. You write this one, complete this, ask questions if you have, type 9, and after that you can move on to the next one. Perfect. Copy paste the query below, change it to union all, and type 10 in the chat room. Okay, everyone. So that's it in joins and union today. Tomorrow, we will be talking about cross join and self join. Out of the two, self join is most important for interviews. Like you'll have in every interview, you'll have question from self join. The join topic itself is very important. You will have one or two questions or maybe more questions from join in every single interview. It's not just about writing the correct query. It's also about explaining the concepts. So again, I'm repeating, make sure you are clear with the concepts and do not hesitate. You should not have any hesitation in asking questions, responding, discussing with me. If you are not doing this, again, it's your loss. I can just try every time so that you respond, you interact, you ask questions. I don't have anything beyond this in my control. All of you are mature enough. All of you are a professional now. And I'm sure you know what is good, what is not good for you. So revise the concepts. Come back to me if you have any questions. Tomorrow we'll discuss more on this. Thank you all. Have a good day, guys.